Hi guys, it's Cindy. This is our 5th week of our level 1 fundamentals class. If you have any questions on any of the movements we covered all 5 weeks, you can shoot me a message. We danced a lot, we drilled a lot, we zilled a lot, we had a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. And if not, I will see you next session. Bye. Start on video. The live is on, and we are on week 5. $5 foot long. Not really. No $5 foot long. Alright, so in this 5 weeks, we have covered a lot of stuff, and we have drilled a lot of stuff, and today is no different. So, we've covered basically all of your fundamental movements. We've covered the pivot bump, Choo, Egyptian Arabic shimmy, Bodywave, Taxeem, hand Floreos, our undulations, arm sweeps. We've covered a little bit of movement on those, and we've covered our zilling. So today we're going to open with our P.E.A.S drill, which is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. We're not going to use our zills right now. We will use our zills here in a little bit. I do want to move on pretty quick though, because we're going to do a fast drill, and then we're going to do a slow drill, and I want to be able to teach you one more fast move and one more slow movement. So, fundamentals, if you ever go onto the IRE online page, on the top there is that document I made for you guys. It has all the lists of all the movements and all how it's broken down. So fundamentals actually goes level 1 and then level 1 plus. So we usually don't get past level 1 movements because I usually have people who have never taken this class before, which is perfectly okay. But with the prep work for intro, that makes fundamentals move a little bit quicker. So today I actually want to dip our toes into that level 1 plus. We're going to be doing the single bump and the single bump in a personal circle. It's a tricky move. It's fairly easy, but it is a tricky move because there's a lot of little nuances to it. So we're going to get deep into our back muscles, which is amazing because I'm a geek and I love muscles. The slow move I want to get into is our reverse turn. It's one that adds a little bit of zhuzh to your performance and a spin. And it also works both aspects of your hand Floreos. So you'll work your reverse hand Floreos and you'll work your regular Floreos. So it kind of works everything in there in one whole unit. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up. I'm going to turn on some music and we're going to dance. Yeah. Don't worry about your zills right now. We'll get them later. balance. I've always said that body weight needs to be that nice internal rotation. If you try to do here in your performance angle without separating your feet a little bit, you're never going to be able to release your hips and your upper body. If you constantly try to do this, it's always going to throw you front, back, and it's going to give you a lot of hip action. So for here, see how much hip I get when I do it this way? So, what I do, I put one foot, my right foot is in front of my left. Not a whole lot, and it's just enough to where when I come off of my center, I'm able to stay on my weighted foot. The body is an amazing thing. It wants to be secure, it wants to be safe. So your heaviest part always wants to be above the best base that you have. So for my body weight, if you guys see my feet, one's in front and one is in back, slightly turned. I'm still in my performance angle, but what I'm doing is when I go forward, I'm actually shifting my foot weight as well, because I'm taking my body forward onto that weighted foot and then bringing it back and putting it back on my center, which will avoid me doing this. It'll actually let me do up, down, down. So it's not a huge weight shift that I do, but if you ever see one foot of mine in front of the other, that's what I'm doing. I'm just more or less shifting my weight from back to front. And my back toe is usually like this. So this is what you're going to see if you ever look under my skirt. If you do look under my skirt, that's weird, and you're buying me dinner. That's all I got to say. Or at least give me a hug. That's all I got to say. That works. Great. So we're going to go into our slow new movement. That is the reverse turn. So remember, the reverse Floreos start with your thumb down, and then reverses it around here. So 1 and 2, flip the glass over, and then wave. So flip and wave, flip and wave, flip and wave. A regular Floreo is starting with the thumbs up here. So it's here and here. So it's turning it over and around and back. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So Deborah, you have your range of motion this way. You need more range of motion coming this way. So when you're turning your wrist, when you're here and you turn it over, you need to come back more this way. Yes, and then wave it goodbye, and then grasp that shot glass again. So here, bring your hand back, around, grab the shot glass. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then wave. Yes. So what happens though is a lot of people, this is not natural. This is natural. This is not natural. So most people, when they lose their hand Floreo, it's on this back part here. They'll lose it there, and then they'll start doing this. See how my hand's just kind of not really coming back? It's just here, here, and here. So what you're trying to do is get the biggest range of motion out of your hand for when you do it. So coming around here, all the way back, wave, and around here, all the way back, and wave here, all the way back, and here, and all the way back. So that's one of those things that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And like I said, it's not your hands, my hands, her hands. This is not a natural motion. So if you want to get extra range of motion on that exercise, or pushing your hands backwards, you can do it like this, where you're bringing your palms down. That's going to help. You can do it when you're pulling your palms back, your fingers back. That'll help with that range of motion.
I figured out what my hands look like. I saw a video of a chameleon, and I realized, oh my God, that's what my hands look like.
I love chameleons. She said her hands look like chameleons when she dances. So I love chameleons, so you're now my favorite. Cherie's is like, wait a minute. exercises, opening up your fingers, open, close, pulling your wrist back, pulling your wrist in, which is equally just as weird, but it's going to actually help extend all those tendons in your wrist. I can't do it as far as I normally do. I rolled a tendon in my wrist this last weekend, so I actually have a sprained wrist right now, so it doesn't go back as far. But the more you can get it to go back, the better your hand Floreos are going to be. When you're practicing your hand Floreos, try to do them with purpose. So even if you take a slow song and just do hand Floreos super slow through the whole thing, that's going to help. Count them if you have to. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just going to slow your hand Floreos down, and it's going to help you be able to extend your muscles back.
Can you do the reverse one again?
Yes, so the reverse one is here. You guys can see it. It's here. We start here, and it's reversing around, back this way, and then coming around, and then grabbing. So flipping over, back, around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That one hurts. That one hurts a little. But yeah, so the slower you can do your hand Floreos, the more extension you're going to get. Your brain, you can go farther than you think you can. Your brain, I don't know if it just thinks that it's so strong that if you go back so far, you're going to break yourself, and it stops you. So the more you can pull it back, get the extension on it, the better your hand Floreos are going to be. I tried to transfer the hand Floreo video and put it onto this. I couldn't find it. So that's still on my Tuesday list right now. As of right now, it's on my Tuesday list. All right, so our reverse turn is done here in performance angle here. Arms float above your head, starting above your head. You do a reverse Floreo over your head. Bring your arm down to that back right corner, reverse Floreo here, reverse Floreo as you turn, and then slowly bring your arms up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So facing you, it's here, reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo. So there's 2 Floreos, 1 and 2 going up, but you don't pause them. You're not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's this gradual pull, and you're doing that Floreo, Floreo as you pull your arms. The reverse turn has a lot of little nuances, like I said, because when you're in the front, you're in performance angle here. Okay? The 11 o'clock, or 10 o'clock performance angle here. Arms are above your head, you're nice and open to that position too. Reverse Floreo here. You drag your right foot around behind your left as you reverse Floreo down to your hip here. Your right hip is now in that back right corner. You're glancing into the back right corner in the bottom. Right arm or left arm is open, and you're here. There's a Floreo here, and a Floreo as you turn, coming back to the front. Arm stays here until you get to the front, and then it's reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo. So if I do it facing you, I'm here, coming back to that back corner, reverse Floreo, reverse, and reverse. Okay, so you're watching your angles, you're watching your arms, you're watching which corners you're hitting in, you're watching your Floreos, of course, and you're watching what body angle you're getting into. A lot of times you'll see this and this, where it's just kind of like, put my hand in my pocket, right? So you really want to get here and do that nice draw, so you're back here. When you're here, this is going to want to happen. You're going to have to pull that open. So you have a nice angle here, and you're looking here. Turning here, stop, Floreo, and Floreo. Cool? Alright, try it. So, arms float up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse Floreo. And drop to that corner, glancing at that right corner. And turn with a reverse Floreo here. Stop. 1, and 2, and. That make sense? It's all about extension and that resistance and release we've been talking about. Getting that nice, see, okay, so there, Deborah, I just saw you do it, so that's why I'm saying, that's why I said you. All right, so we're here. Try not to do this. Because see how that closes me off? And I've taken this whole half of my body out of the equation. So all you're seeing is this. So if you're here, it's going to go down to here. So I'm going to basically put my right hand in that back corner. My hip is in that back corner. But I want it to be out far enough to where the audience can see it, but not way out there. So here. So it's reverse Floreo there, and then turn here, keeping it down the entire time you turn, and then up and up. Like I said, there's a lot of little tricky angles to that guy that if you don't get them quite right, it looks like you're basically turning sideways to the audience. You're either going to turn sideways to the audience, or you're just going to sit like this and be like, look. Okay, so you want to get that perfect little angle in there. All right, over here. Up. Reverse Floreo. And reverse Floreo. Pulling that left elbow back. Reverse Floreo in here. Turn with the reverse Floreo. Your hands stay here till you get to the front. And then reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo. Otra vez. Reverse Floreo. And step into that corner. Hip and hand are there. Reverse Floreo as you turn. Coming around to the front, stay. Reverse and reverse. Again. Up, 2, 3, 4. 1 Floreo. Sweep and turn. Here to the front. Reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo. Again. Reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo, reverse Floreo, reverse, and reverse. Good? It's just one of those that's going to take a lot of drilling in order to get the angles of where they're supposed to be. Questions? Comments? Concerns? All right. All right. One more time without music, and I'm a dance teacher, so one more time using music like 5. And then we'll put the slow song on, and we'll add it to our song. So we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse Floreo here. Reverse Floreo. Turn with the reverse Floreo. Reverse and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse Floreo. Reverse Floreo. Reverse Floreo. Reverse and reverse. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here and here. Turn. Split your arms here. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good? So the hardest part, I always think for me, is getting into that right beginning angle. So this is the cue that it's going to happen. The hardest part for me is always getting here. Because I'm never sure if I'm making a big enough Floreo, but I don't want to flag a plane, right? No one's like, oh yeah. So I always want to have that happy medium and have it not be too out too far and not in too far. So from here, 1 and 1. So that first Floreo is here, and that second one is kind of right here as you're bringing it around, and then it drops. So it's not way out here. It's here and here. So kind of right beside your body. So here, 1 up top, 1 coming here, reverse Floreo with your turn, reverse and reverse. That's why sometimes you'll see a very harsh cue for a reverse turn. Sometimes you'll see just this for a reverse turn, and that's because that whole second Floreo doesn't happen. It happens here, and all of a sudden it's here. It's got to do that reverse, and then that reverse as you draw down. So that's in there, okay? Like I said, that's always been my kryptonite, because that second reverse turn, I work really hard to get it. It happens. The minute you stop thinking about it, it happens. Questions? Okay, music. aware of those angles. This is another one. I was totally geeking out over my resistance band today. But this is another one for resistance bands that will help you. We're going to be doing a lot, not a lot. We're going to be doing some stuff with resistance bands next session. So if you're curious, you have to be there. So we're going to be doing some stuff with resistance bands, which is going to help you be able to feel movements, not necessarily only perform movements, and not necessarily only be able to execute them back and be able to regurgitate them. I actually want you to feel what they feel like inside your body. So if there's no mirror, if there's no other people, you'll be able to feel if you're actually doing the movement correctly. So it's helpful. So we're going to do the slow drill one more time. And then we are going to go on to, I want to do a quick zill drill with you guys. And then we're going to go on to the single bump, which I love so much. All right, put that thumb back on, or walk over here. No pausing. So think of the movement as a continuous movement that moves from the ground all the way up and out to your fingertips. So the very end of your Floreos are going to be still movement. So what I mean by no pausing is don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got to be a continuous motion of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So you're using even the very tippy tips of your fingers as part of that motion, as part of that continuous movement. So you're not staccato movement, staccato, pause. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're keeping a nice flow through that entire movement. And like I said, that's fine. It takes a little time to be able to get the angles, your brain. Your brain is the biggest barrier there. But your angles, your brains, your hand Floreos, and be remembering the audience, staying open to them. Because like I said, the minute you turn here, this wants to happen. So, but if you look at the whole elbows to ear thing, if I do this, my ear is back here and my elbow is here. So basically all I'm doing is putting my elbow back to my ear for that alignment if you really want to think about it. So even here, they're aligned when I'm here and I turn, my elbow and my ears should still be aligned right there. So if you're thinking alignment and where your arms are supposed to be, elbows and ears are like the easiest thing in the world to remember because we all have elbows and ears. Unless you don't. And if you don't, I apologize for being insensitive. So there's that. Alright, so we're going to go on to our zills. So get your zills on really quick. We're going to do this really quick because it's 6:47 and I'm getting into that single bump. I don't care. It's going to happen. But I want to make sure that everybody's zills are, that you're feeling comfortable doing them. And this is going to be very a quick zill drill, okay? So follow the bouncing arms. So 5, we're just going to do 3s. So 5, 6, 7, 8. that way you guys can see that even though I was doing this, my arms, they would always come back to here. So just to be aware of that. Quick military drill pattern, which is 3-3-7. 3-3-7. We're gonna do that really quick, and then we're gonna get straight to the single bump. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Pick that up. Don't forget to practice your zills. Zills are very important. All right, so we're going to hop on to our single bump very quickly. Single bump is done with your threes, your longa. So you know with that. Single bump is, I'll do it with the back and I'll do it facing the front. It is here. It is 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You notice I'm not flapping my arms. We're here. I'm going to teach you not to flap your arms. We're here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not a big movement. It doesn't have to be the entire box. I go toes to heel. That's about as big as it's going to get. So my right foot goes to my left toe as I bump forward, and then you notice how it drops down as it comes to that back hip or that back of my foot, and it pops back up. So I like to think of a little smiley face. So it's going 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. You want to make sure you're getting a bump and you're not just touching in that side. So you really want to make sure you're getting your bump. It's not a level. There's no level to it. So it's not, there's none of this. Your arms. Your arms are staying here. Remember, tops of your arms stay on your tabletop. Fluidity comes from your hands. So if you're here, when you bump forward with that hip going into that left front corner, you're going to engage this lat back. This one stays in neutral. This right one comes back. And when you bump back to the back right or the right corner, it comes back to neutral. So it goes 1 and 2. 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 Okay? So when I do it fast, it is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It looks like the arms are bouncing, but they're not. That's coming from this 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So your 1 is here, your 2 is here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you look at your hands and your arms, they look like they're doing a little bit of a bounce, but they are not. So we're just going to do the upper body really quick. We're here. All right? Elbows pointing to the back of the room. Standing in your 10 o'clock performance angle here. We're going to engage this right lat. 1 and 2. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you're engaging back, your right boob chest, your right bubicle is moving with that hip forward to present here. And then when you relax it back to your neutral, it's just going to come back to a neutral spot. Okay? So we're here. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So you're making sure you're getting those bumps in. Front bump, back bump. And your arms on the tabletop doing this thing. Fluidity comes from your hands. And if you ask if we're doing a Floreo with it, we are not, we're zilling. It looks different when you don't have your zills on or you're not zilling. Okay? So 5, 6, 7, 8. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hip, 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 hip. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good? So you should be feeling all of that resistance, release, resistance, release, resistance, and release. Keep your arms as wide open as you can without looking like you're trying to fly away. So if you're thinking like the corners, again, keeping your fingertips in those corners there, that helps me to remember where I'm supposed to be. Also, if I bend down, it's a soft curve of my arms, and they're not perfectly straight, that nice soft curve here. If your shoulders and your back start to get tired for that, I apologize. It's just one of those things that the more you work your back and the more you work those muscles, the easier it's going to be able to maintain that arm posture. Okay? So we're going to add that to our Egyptian, Arabic, and Shimmy and pivot bump, and we'll do it slow this time. Okay? So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that single bump, there's a lot of little pieces to that one as well. But getting it in your body and performing it with that nice, strong back, open arm, and then back to neutral is going to be, it's going to be so helpful for you. And it's going to avoid this flappy thing that looks like it's happening. I like that. You guys can't see Deborah, but she's perfect when she's doing it. She's like, yeah. So it's a happy movement. And all of us, I don't care who we are, we all add a little hop to it, especially like when we go into it. You'll always see me go da-da-da-da-da-da, hey, and I hop into it. Just because it's a happy moment. But controlling it and feeling that resistance and release is going to be, it's going to make the move a lot cleaner, and it's going to make the move a lot stronger, and you're going to be able to really get that hip around and move. Especially when you have your sword in your head, you want to have as much control as you possibly can. So there's that. So, week 5. Thank you so much for joining me for this session. Like I said, the next session starts next week on the 10th. We have some fun stuff planned, and by we, I mean me and the little mouse in my pocket. I don't have a mouse in my pocket. But I have some fun stuff planned for everybody. If you have any questions about anything we covered in this entire session, let me know. I do have a few things I'm going to add to the page, so that way you guys can go back and look. The page itself will be up. This July page will be up until the end of next session. So I always like to keep it up for a month. So like the June one just got archived. July will be up until the end of next session. So if there's something you want to go back through and review, or you're like, why did she say this time and this the other time? I drink, so there's that. Kidding. I'm not. But anyways, so if there's any questions you have, and if you have any questions about what classes you think you should take next, you can message me and I can kind of help you out with that too. I love you guys. I appreciate you. You make me better. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. The video should be up hopefully tomorrow morning. So, enjoy guys.